Good Tuesday morning, YouTube. How you guys doing today? Well, since the case of George Floyd was put forth to the world, there have been a lot of cases of police brutality that have been resurfacing. We've seen that in the Mob Arbery case. We've seen that in the Breonna Taylor case. We're seeing that now go on in Colorado with the Elijah McClain case. Well, here's a case where a woman was kneed in the neck in January in Miami. And so this woman's name is Sophia Satchel. She was also shot twice in the stomach by a stun gun. The police officer he's been arrested and he's facing charges. It's incredible. So what we're going to do is look at a little video. The first video I'm going to show you guys is of Miss Satchel herself. I'm telling you how it felt when she was having to endure this type of abuse, and we will read a little bit of the article after that. Hold on.
I was just humiliated, embarrassed, I was scared for my life. I come from a family full of law enforcement, so I was just like confused as to why this happened to me. I never experienced or thought that could happen to me just because I always had respect for the law. I was scared for my life. The point when he was tasing me, I didn't know if I was being shot or taken. Well, I still feel violated. I had extreme anxiety. I hate going places where I feel as though there's going to be police presence or things could get crazy where it's just a lot.
We're not asking for the state to extend a plea offer to the former officer in this case. We want the jury to see the video. We want the jury to hear the facts. We want the judge to decide the appropriate sentence in this case.
Wow. So there was Miss Satchel in a press conference with her attorney, letting everybody know what I'm sure she's undergoing some type of PTSD as a result of this incident. And like she said, she was not used to this treatment. And her family, she has 7 family members that are involved in law enforcement, and she's probably, like I said, undergoing some type of PTSD. So the article states that Sophia Satchel knows police. She studied criminal justice at Temple University and has a cousin and an uncle whom she refers to as her father, who are law enforcement officers in Philadelphia. So she says, the article states that, so she says she was shocked when a Miami Gardens police officer dragged her out of her SUV outside a strip club simply because he wanted to issue a trespassing warning. Then he's not an officer anymore. Then Officer Jordy Martell pressed his knee on Satchel's throat and shot her twice in the belly with a taser stun gun before arresting her for resisting with violence and battery on a cop. That is what he arrested her for. Now, this is another video I'm going to share with you guys, and this is a video of, it's a body cam video. So let's see.
On her neck, though? Why is you kneeing on her neck, though? That's weird. Why is that kneeing on her neck, though? Why are you kneeing on her? Get back! Get back! No, why are you chasing her? Stop. Why are you chasing her? Turn around and put your hands behind your back. Don't touch her. Put your hands behind your back. Don't touch me. Please delete that. Why are y'all recording? Why is y'all tasing her?
Stop. Put your hands behind your back. Stop. Just go ahead.
This is getting the I swear to to God.
Oh my God, that was hard. Let me try to pause.
Theoretically, my only job today is to keep my kids alive. And
I want to pause anyway. Wow, what I just saw in the video was just like some kind of assault. I understand why the officer is no longer working, but let me read a little bit more of the article. Now, she's a little bitty lady. It took all of that force. And did you see them tasing her in the bottom of her stomach? And also, they are saying under a video that I saw on YouTube. Now, she didn't say anything about this, so I don't know if it was true. I don't know how the rumor got started. But they were saying that she was pregnant and lost a baby as a result of that. So I'm going to say allegedly, and she didn't mention it in her press conference either. So I don't know if it's true or not. But allegedly, people saying under the video on YouTube that she may have lost a child as a result of this confrontation. That was just horrible and excessive. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, y'all, let me go on and read some more of the article. The article goes on to state that she says that I was humiliated, I was embarrassed, I was scared for my life, says Satchel 33, whose criminal charges have since been dropped. She says that I've always had respect for the law. My family, a lot of people who are also close to me or police officers, I felt violated. And that is the thing that keeps ringing in my mind, that she says that she felt violated because it appeared to be excessive and brutal and absolutely disgusting that after she's on the ground, the officer's knee is in the neck and they are tasing her in the lower part of her stomach. That is sick. That is sadistic. I mean, oh my God, really? Anyway, honey, let me scroll down a little bit. In another part of the article, I'm not trying to read it out for you guys, but this Satchel spoke publicly for the first time Monday, 4 days after Miami Gardens police officer was arrested and charged with aggravated battery, and official misconduct. The confrontation, captured on smartphone video by her friend, contradicted Officer Jordy Martell's account of the January 14th incident and was key evidence for prosecutors in filing charges. I also read somewhere that he wasn't necessarily fired for this police brutality, but he was initially fired because he filed a false report. His report didn't match the body cam footage. Okay, the article goes on to state that Satchel, the female, had just moved to Miami from Philadelphia and was working as a bartender before the coronavirus crisis closed down the bar. As she looks for a new job, Satchel is now considering enrolling in law school to hopefully one day represent people falsely accused of crimes, she said. Here's another video that I'm going to play for you guys. This video says that Miami Gardens officer arrested on 2 counts of official misconduct and 4 counts of battery from an incident June 25th, 2020. That's when he was arrested. The victim suffered numerous cuts and bruises as well as abrasions on her stomach from the taser. So here's another look at the incident. I think that this may be the video of the attorney, the prosecuting attorney, speaking out about the case. Let's see.
Martell stated in both the arrest affidavit and in his incident report, and I quote, "I was able to help the defendant out of the vehicle, and subsequently defendant started resisting and tensing and kicking me. Both audios and the videos reflect that Satchel allegedly did not want to get out of the vehicle because she was not wearing any shoes, and Martell forcibly removed her from her vehicle." Testimony by Satchel, the testimony by the witnesses, and the evidence here allegedly refute Martell's claim that he was helping Satchel. Martell stated in both the arrest affidavit and in his incident report that defendant continued to fight the officers by kicking and punching, at which point I advised her to comply or she was going to be tased. And the defendant still refused to comply, causing me to retrieve my department-issued taser, at which point I drive-stunned her, that means immediate contact, at least 2 times, seeking compliance. Martell states that Satchel continued to fight by kicking and punching, and the video allegedly reflects that at the time of the first drive-stun by Martell, Satchel was on her back, on the ground, with Martell's knee on her neck. Martell had control of Satchel's left arm, and Sergeant King had control of Satchel's right arm. At that point, she was not kicking the officers. And at the time of the second drive stun, the situation had not changed. She was still not kicking the officers. In regards to the battery charges, As stated previously, there is allegedly no evidence in the audio or visual recording of the event that Martell advised Satchel that she was under arrest at the time Martell opened her car door and forcibly pulled her from the vehicle. According to witness testimony, supported again by the audio and visual recordings to the event, Ms. Satchel, who was not advised that she was under arrest, was allegedly forcibly pulled from her car by Martell. Once forcibly removed from the car, Martell took Ms. Satchel to the ground, and once on the ground, Martell allegedly used excessive force by putting his knee on Ms. Satchel's neck and drive tasing her 2 times. As a result of Martell's actions, Ms. Satchel suffered abrasions to her stomach from the taser, bruises and abrasions to her arms, and bruises to her legs. By filing these criminal charges today against former Miami Gardens officer Jordis Yanis Martel, we are stating that these actions are just plain wrong. And just give it a still photo here for you. What you saw there was, but this is wrong. This is just plain, senselessly wrong.
Wow. That is horrible. She is absolutely right. It is wrong. So you just heard the Miami-Dade prosecutors announcing Martell, the ex-officer's arrest. A little bit of the article states that as I scroll down, Martell, the ex-officer, the Miami Gardens police officer, is now awaiting trial while free on bond. So he was arrested. He has made bond. He has been fired from his job. Satchel, the female in question, is African American. Martell is Hispanic. So he's a Hispanic officer. His union, the police union, contracted defense attorney lawyer Douglas Hartman, his attorney has insisted the arrest was quote unquote politically motivated by the Attorney General Catherine Fernandez Rondo, who is running for re-election. Hartman says the use of force was justified. I disagree because Satchel struck the officer after refusing to cooperate. This is a female. She is a small woman. Why did he forcibly remove her from her car? Just to give her a trespassing warning? Anyway, the article goes on to state that he also pointed out that Satchel, the woman, was arrested again. Now, see, here's where you start to try to vilify the victim. Okay, here's when you start to especially because she's an African-American woman, this is where you try to make her seem like she's some kind of hardened criminal when that is not the case. I think she's dealing with PTSD as a result of this. Okay, but anyway, he goes on to state that Satchel was arrested again on June 4th in a similar case, one that did not involve a taser. In that case, Miami police officers said they found Satchel had crashed her SUV into a bus bench excuse me, at a light pole. Like I said, I think she's dealing with PTSD. That is what I think. A Miami police officer in his arrest report says she was cursing and yelling at paramedics, smelled of alcohol, and refused to hand over her driver's license. There's a quote from the officer said that she said, "I'm not going to sit down because I'm black, and that's how you guys beat black people up," she told an officer, according to an arrest. They are probably stalking and harassing this woman, and she's absolutely right in what she said. She's already, like I said, dealing with PTSD. You can tell by the look on her face that she's scared for her life. So I don't blame her for saying it. Do you see what I'm saying? I think they stalking and harassing her, like I said, allegedly. Now, I'm alleging that. It goes on to say that she was charged with misdemeanor now. Misdemeanor, disorderly intoxication and resisting without violence. Like she was child. Satchel also said her father was a 25-year police officer, according to the arrest report. She said the same during Miami Gardens incident 5 months earlier. There's a quote that says, "It seems ironic that she was arrested for doing the same thing she was doing when she encountered my client," Hartman said. He's trying to justify what the police brutality that his client, which is Martell, the ex-officer, placed upon this female, this very small female. It took all of that. You snatched her out of her car, and then you tased her twice in her stomach. and you put your knee in her neck for this little bitty woman. She don't even look like she weigh 150 pounds, y'all. Anyway, the article goes on to state that Satchel's attorney on Monday shot back. The woman's attorney shot back on Monday, saying the June arrest won't be admissible during Martell's trial. It shouldn't be admissible. There are two different cases. The article goes on to state that, the cell phone video speaks for itself. It absolutely does. The officer's criminal actions were not justified, Jordan said. I hope he has a better defense than an inadmissible misdemeanor. There is no defense for that. The video don't lie. They always like to show you the video and tell you you're not seeing what you're seeing. You see what I'm saying? Her attorney added, Jordan added, quote, "We want the jury to see the video." Absolutely. We want the jury to hear the facts. We want the judge to decide the appropriate sentence in this case, unquote. I absolutely agree. Martell's arraignment, the ex-officer's arraignment, is scheduled for July 24th. He is expected to plead not guilty. Of course, no trial date has been set because of the coronavirus pandemic shutting down courts. It's unclear when a jury trial will resume. Wow, that is crazy. That is absolutely ridiculous. The last part of the article says the Miami-Dade State's Attorney Office will be hoping to have better luck convicting officers for rough arrest. In recent years, check this out, I got distracted. In recent years, prosecutors have charged a slew of officers for rough takedowns, but have lost three cases at trial. They convicted one, ex-Miami Sergeant Lester, whatever he is, of battery for pushing a nurse at a Jackson Memorial Hospital. So the one officer that was convicted, he pushed a nurse at a hospital. So that's the only reason why he was convicted of that. That's what they're saying. And the article goes on to state that in addition to Martell, prosecutors are also waiting to try two other cops charged in excessive force cases. Miami-Dade officer Alejandro he was accused of tackling a woman who had reported a gun crime, and Homestead police officer Lester Brown accused of ramming a handcuffed inmate's head into a wall at a detention center. It's a lot going on in Miami with these police officers, right? It's incredible. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I got about this. I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happened. But I found it absolutely horrifying to watch that little bitty old small woman be kneed in the neck. And all of these officers, basically putting their hands on her, violating her. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I hope that they are charged and convicted in this. I hope that, because that is absolute excessive force. It is gross. Like I said, I'm sure she absolutely felt violated. Why wouldn't she? You know what I mean? They kneed her in the neck. They tased her. That's all I got on this, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Peace. It's ridiculous.
We're hearing from a woman who says she was tased twice by a now former Miami Gardens police officer, criminally charged for also appearing to kneel on her neck. The former officer was working at a club in Miami Gardens when this happened.
He's now facing felony charges and was fired from the force. CBS 4's Ted Scouten has what she and her attorney are saying from Miami Gardens.
Why is I kneeling on her neck? Why are you kneeling on her? Get back!
It's cell phone video of Sophia Satchel as former Miami Gardens police officer Jordy Martell appears to have his knee on her neck while tasing her twice. It happened in the parking lot of Tootsie's Cabaret in January.
At that moment, I didn't know if I was being shot or tased. Like, I know he was holding me down. The other officer was holding me down. So at that moment, I just didn't know what was going on. All I could do is just scream.
Satchel has a criminal justice degree from Temple University. She tells us this all happened after a disagreement over a food order inside the club. Satchel said she paid her bill and left. As she tried to leave, that's when she said she was stopped and had the run-in with Martell.
When he put his hand in my car, I knew something wrong, or it was about to escalate and it was about to go wrong. So once he got the door open and dragged me out. It was just like all control was lost.
Martel faces 2 counts of official misconduct and 4 counts of battery. He's out on bond. His attorney told us, "We intend to enter a plea of not guilty. He is innocent, and we will prove that when we get to court." Satchel's attorney is looking forward to the court date.
Justice will be determined with a jury verdict in this case. We're not asking for the state to extend a plea offer to the former officer in this case. We want the jury to see the video. We want the jury to hear the facts. We want the judge to decide the appropriate sentence in this case.
Martel's attorney points out Satchel was arrested a few months after the incident at Tootsie's, this time after a traffic crash in Miami on June 4th. According to the police report, Satchel seemed off balance, and when the officer asked her to take a seat on the curb, she said, "I'm not going to sit down because I'm black, and that's how you guys beat black people up." She was arrested after police say she began yelling obscenities and would not give her driver's license. She was charged with resisting an officer without violence and disorderly intoxication.
Why are you tasing her? Stop! Why are you tasing her?
In the case against Martel, Satchel's attorney said the recent arrest is not admissible and said, "I hope Martel's lawyer has a better defense at trial than to try and pin an inadmissible misdemeanor against her." The cell phone video of the assault against her speaks for itself, and his criminal actions are justified by nothing. Martel was fired from the Miami Gardens Police Department. Not only does he face charges in this case, but he's also being investigated in another unrelated case. In Miami Gardens, Ted Scout.
Wow, just want to share that quick video with you guys to let you know what the update on the case. Said that he's also being investigated in other cases involving police misconduct and brutality. The video speaks for itself. I found it fascinating once again how they try to bring up this lady's other arrest, which she's clearly undergoing some type of PTSD, like I said before. But anyway, just want to share that with you guys. You guys have a nice day. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this video once again in the comment section. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.